Okay, so a lot has happened. It's been, I think, 2 months. Correct me if I'm just ruined my setup. What is my setup? I'm sitting in my basement. Like, what? There's no setup. Tim Hortons, because Starbucks is being boycotted. Where am I going with this? As soon as I turn the camera on, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing. But I have a whole plan for what I'm supposed to... Actually, I'm lying. So, number one, gaslighter. I'm not looking at anything. Okay. Where do I begin? Okay, so again, it's been, I think, 2 months since I recorded my last podcast. And, oh my lord, has a lot gone on. I basically just got busy with school and, work, and there's just a lot going on. And I needed to focus on school, because it's school. Why wouldn't you focus on it? Why do I need to give a reason for this? Focusing on school, so took a little break from the podcast, but that doesn't mean I wasn't making notes on what to make podcasts about moving forward. Yes. So I thought the way to make a comeback, like the way to, that's what comeback is. I was going to say the way to come back, is by talking about Heeramandi. Now, just saying Heeramandi is like a whole new world, I'm so sorry for anybody that was listening to that with their ears, with their headphones, with their anything. I apologize that you had to hear that. And I'm not going to cut it out, because that is authentically 100% myself. And that's what you signed up for. So, sucks to be you. Where am I going with this? The point is that when you think of Heeramandi is like just a whole new... So we're basically back to square one. It's like a whole new world. I need to stop saying that. It's like a different universe or planet, that you vicariously live through like the web series, the TV show, whatever. It really transports you into a whole new world. And the point is, actually there is no point. I'm basically just introducing the fact that I'm about to talk about Heeramandi, and oh, do I have so much to say. You are watching Desi Dhamaka, hosted by yours truly, your one and only, Parwaiz Dhanani. Sorry I made you wait so long, but here we are. In this episode, we're talking about Heeramandi. And the episode's title, I haven't really figured it out yet, but I want it to be something along the lines of, okay, so close your eyes for emphasis, and you're watching Heeramandi. Arz kiya hai. Part 1. That sort of thing. So yeah, this is part 1 in the 3-part edition to Heeramandi on Desi Dhamaka. Grab some coffee, grab some chai that isn't Starbucks, because we are boycotting, and yeah, sit down and enjoy. Hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Actually, I just want to preface this by saying that there are going to be a lot of spoilers. I'm gonna try to be as spoiler free as possible. Who am I kidding? There's gonna be spoilers everywhere. So if you haven't seen Heeramandi, go watch it. It's on Netflix right now. And I completely 100% endorse watching it on Netflix and not on any illegal sites like IPTV. Yeah. So go watch it on Netflix, come back, and then let's dish it out together, because I have so much... Ew, I hated that. But yeah, let's talk about it. So, Heeramandi. What is Heeramandi? Heeramandi translates to the Diamond Bazaar and is actually a real place. But before I get into that, what am I talking about? So Sanjay Leela Bhansali, if you've been living under a freaking rock the size of Mount Everest, get it? Actually, there's no get it. I made a really bad joke. If you've been living under a rock, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, the director of majestic Indian cinema like Baji Ramastani, Padmavat, Ram Leela. Can I add Savaria to the list? No. Black. He's directed some incredible things. So his next project is Heeramandi. And Heeramandi isn't a movie, which he's used to directing. It's a web series. So this is the first web series he's made. And it's 8 episodes long, each being about, like, I would say an hour to 45 minutes-ish in length. So it's about, like, I'd say about a 6 to 8 hour watch if you're going to watch it, literally binge watch it all the way through. When I tell you, I started it yesterday, and I'm now sitting the next day, not even 24 hours later, talking to you about my thoughts about on the whole show. I also want to preface this by saying I tried to make notes for every episode, but I fell through about episode 3 because I was like, ooh, this is very interesting. So I kept watching with my mom. So yeah, that's what Heeramandi is. It's a web series on Netflix about the Diamond Bazaar, which is, again, a real place. To go back to where I was in the beginning, it's a real place. It's basically the red light district or the red light society it's set in pre-independence India, so in Lahore, in around like the 1920s. And it's when the courtesans had a rule over the area, and maybe not the whole country, but the land. And this show, so I just ruined my set again. Again, it's not a set. Stop gaslighting yourself into thinking it's a set. Sorry, let's talk to Parwaiz moment right there. Where was I going with this? I cannot tell you. Yeah, it's based on a real place. This show, I know what I was saying. This show, when I first heard about it and I first heard the subject, I was like, so it's basically Gangubai, remade. And I was like, well, so why did he decide to do the exact same thing? The subject in its foundation may be a little bit similar, or the way he portrays subject matters is a little bit similar, but the stories, the setting, the actresses, obviously, the sets, very different. 2 very different concepts, yet are somehow married in the way it's delivered, if that makes sense. I'm trying to be very profound with the way I'm speaking right now, but I don't know if it's coming through. So yeah, that was my initial thought, but then I watched it and I was like, interesting. So it's Sanjay Leela Bhansali. Of course I'm going to watch it, let's be honest. So yeah, that's a little bit of background as to what exactly I'm talking about. Web series made by Sanjay Leela Bhansali, and the cast. Okay, I think I said this in a TikTok. If I didn't, then I'm going to post it soon. But it's I was watching the trailer on YouTube, and from the first 3 seconds, that was a terrible snap. There we go. Already captivated. It was the the captivating, all-encompassing, wide sound. The background score was just beautiful of the trailer itself. And the amount of detail in that first 3 seconds, it's how do I describe it? It's like a backwards shot that goes like this, if that makes sense. I just showed you all of my laptop stickers. acting like there's anywho. Um, yeah, it's sort of like a backwards shot. If you've seen it, you've seen it. I'm gonna try to put in a clip here if I remember, or like maybe put it up here or something. It's so detailed. If you like, I've watched this trailer an unhealthy amount of times. I think it has 90 something million views right now. I'm about like 89 of them. It's so detailed in the fact that like I've watched it so many times and I've every single time I've picked up something different. You look in the windows and there's courtesans. You look on the rooftops, courtesans. And it's not just like it's just them. It's like there's details. You can see the Nawabs throwing money at them. You could see interactions in the bazaar. The you can feel the essence of the set, and that's something Sanjay Leela Bhansali does so incredibly well. I'm so sorry I cannot pick up this call. Um, Sorry, my friends are calling, and I can't because I am so invested in Heeramandi. Um, yeah, it's so beautiful. It like regardless of whether or not you like the subject matter, you like what he's talking about, you like the characters, you like the story, whatever. It's a beautiful piece of work that I think should be appreciated. And he is getting so much acclaim for it. Like the reviews have come it's been out for like about 24 hours now, and the amount of good reviews he's gotten is insane. Like I heard in an interview that like from him that it was like this has been worked on for 18 years or something. The original idea came to him 18 years ago by Moin Beg, I think it was, and I appreciate that he got credit in the actual series at the very beginning. It was like idea or like created by Moin Beg because he's the one that bought this idea to Bansali in the beginning, and he like sat on it for a very long time too. And I've been seeing so many posts of like the original cast was supposed to be XYZ. There's supposed to be a lot of Pakistani actors as well. I think Fawad Khan was supposed to be in it. Um, he also initially thought that what was it? Rekha, Kareena Kapoor, Rani Mukherjee. I think this was like an instant Bollywood post, so I don't know how much like fact there is to this, but it's like that cast would have eaten. I'm just saying, like they've done roles like this before. I don't know if Kareena Kapoor has. Maybe an Agent Vinod in that song, Dil Mera Muft Ka, but like as a role in itself is an all-encompassing courtesan type role. Like Aishwarya did Umrao Jan, Kareena did Dil Mera Muft Ka, and then Rani did. She did that song Wake Up Utapam. You know what I'm saying. Uh, but yeah, I think that cast would have eaten. Anywho, he's been sitting on this idea for 18 years, which is wild because I am 21 years old. So this idea has been like as old as I am almost. And it's come to fruition now because he's had time to work on it. He, oh, yes, I was talking about the cast. I've been talking about this for the past God knows how long. But yeah, the cast. I was watching the trailer and like someone commented that he handpicked his forgotten diamonds, and I thought that was the most beautiful like sentence ever, because it's like Heeramandi obviously is playing on the word diamonds, but like forgotten was a very interesting thing that like made me think about it a lot more. He like his actress selection, the casting was done incredibly, like whether or not they were forgotten because they're all good actresses in their own right. I think one or two of them debuted with this, but they bought the finesse. They all delivered so incredibly well in their roles that like it made the show what it was. From the trailer I could tell Sonakshi Sinha was the villain, and I'll get into this later, but like wow, I was excited to see Sonakshi Sinha like from Tilasmi Bahe, because that song came out before the show came out. Just seeing her acting in the song was beautiful. Was like I knew she was gonna deliver, and she did. Oh, it was so good. But yeah, I want to talk about the cast because, and then I'll go into every single person individually because like, wow. Anywho, Wikipedia says the series is about the lives of the wives, so courtesans, at the red light district of Heeramandi in Lahore during the Indian independence movement against the British Raj. It stars Manisha Koirala, who is the main character, I think, Sonakshi Sinha, Aditi Rao Hydari, Richa Chadda, Sanjida Sheikh, and Sharmeen Sehgal. Interesting note, Sharmeen Sehgal is Sanjay Leela Bhansali's niece. That's like nepotism at its finest, but like that's kind of cool. That like, you know, that's kind of cool. I don't know if she was the strongest actress, but I'll get into that in a second. I might have to make this 2 parts because I'm really blabbering on and it's been 16 minutes. So yes, those are the actresses that I think were handpicked so incredibly well. I think the breakdown was 2 of them have worked with him in the past. 2 of them have acted with him in the past, and worked is like behind the scenes sort of thing. 2 of them have worked with him in the past, behind the scenes. 2 of them have acted with him in the past, and then 2 of them are new. I think that's what it was, because Aditi Rao Hydari has worked with him in the past, in Padmavat. I think Sonakshi hasn't worked with him. I don't know. It was an interview. It was like the press interview, like that people that they do for the movie, like the first one they did in India. I've been looking here the entire time the camera is there. Anywho, it was the first press interview that they did, and if you go back to it, I'm gonna put like a little clip here. This is what they were wearing. They were all wearing pink or something on the stage. I think the interviewer pointed out that 2 of them, and 2 of them. So I think you might have to reference that for what I'm saying right now, but I think that's where I got it from, which I thought was very interesting because he's dipped his toes into sort of like everything. And when I thought of Forgotten Diamonds from that YouTube comment, it made sense, sort of, from the trailer. Because Farida Jalal was in the trailer, and I was like, where has she been? 1, so forgotten in that sense, but 2, she did so well in the thing too, which I'll get to later. She did so well in the thing. Fardeen Khan came back. Fardeen Khan came back to the scene after 14 years, was it? Which also plays onto the forgotten thing. And Sonakshi Sinha, I think she made an XL movie, like plus XL. Oh, what movie was it? Wait, I'm gonna find this. She did double XL. She was in Bade Miyan Chote Miyan. I take it back. So she has been in the scene for a little bit, but like, you know, I haven't seen any strong performances of her for a while. Manisha Koirala, she's also had her comeback with this movie, with this TV show, I think. I need to look at her filmography because I cannot be making up this shit. Let's see. Yeah, her last thing. Oh, she was in Shehzada. So I guess that works. She was something in 2021, 2020, 2019. So she's sort of been in the scene. But yeah, Heeramandi, I think, was a very prominent role for her. Obviously, she was the main character. So she had like a little bit of a comeback as well. And these are like under the radar actresses. I know they're all respected in their own right, but like, it's not like he casted Kajol, Rani Mukherjee. It's not Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. It's not Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham, and it's not Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna. It's not like A-list celebrity star-studded cast. These are like, I don't know what tier they rank on, but they are all S-tier actresses. Well, I don't know about his niece. I don't know about Sharmeen Sehgal was her name. I don't know about her, but the rest. Please don't ruin the set. Please don't ruin the set. Sorry, my legs. I'm getting old. Okay, my knees are like breaking at the seams. So we're working on it. Okay, we're working with what we've got. I'm spiraling again. Sorry. But yeah. So I thought Forgotten Diamonds was so beautifully said and worded, and I think it applies so well to the show as well. So those are the female leads. Let me read to you the male leads, because most of them I haven't heard of, but they all did a really excellent job. Except for Fardeen Khan. I'm I may sound like a hater. He did well. His role was so small though. Like, yeah, I know he accepted the role and whatever. And Richa Chadda also did something similar, which I'll get into in a second. But Fardeen Khan, I wish his role was a little bit bigger. Because like they made it a thing that he's coming back to the screen after 14 years. So I was like, okay, well, if you're making it a big thing, I would assume he has a substantial role, but I didn't see that. So I was a little disappointed, but it's fine, whatever. He was in it, got a little glimpse of it. I know him from Pyare Mohan. If you know, you know, with Vivek Oberoi, Amrita Rao, and Isha Deo. Such a good movie, such a cute movie. Anywho, I know him from there, and I feel like that was like a cute, like, oh, it's nice to see him again. His hair really pissed me off, but it's fine, whatever. Uh, but yeah, he was interesting. He was the only scared the shit out of me. My laundry machine was going, and it just turned off. Actually, that was the dryer. Anywho, those were the female leads. Let me read you the male leads. Taha Shah Badusha. Badusha. I'm gonna get crucified for these names. Farida Jalal, Fardeen Khan, Adyayan, Adyayan Suman as Zorawar, and then Shekhar Suman as Khan Bahadur Zulfikar Ahmed. I think those were the main male leads. So none of which I know. So I just went through all of that just to say I don't know them. I know one of them, but it's fine. So yeah, that's the cast. I think I've set the scene for what this is. The budget for this was 200 crores. How much did Heeramandi make? Sonakshi Sinha took 1.5 crores for her performance. Okay, I don't care. I know the budget was 200. How much did he make? Whatever. 200 crores is a wild budget for a set, may I just say. That's insane. But it's like, you can tell the sets are like, oh, the sets are beautiful. I'm gonna put in a couple stills here. From like every detail is so beautifully set and put. Ironic set. In a couple interviews, I saw Bhansali like walking on the set, like while it was being made. I have a couple screenshots on my phone, and I'm using my phone to do that. But it was like yes, here it is. It took 700 craftsmen, and it took 7 months to create his biggest set ever, which is crazy because, like I was saying before, he said that, of course, I love my like other works like Bajra Mastani, Padmavat, Ramlila, all of that. Of course, I love them. But Heeramandi is like another level, and you can tell it. The set itself was 3 acres. 1 acre is 16 tennis courts, or 1 acre is the size of a football field. So 3 acres is 3 football fields, which is wild. It's humongous when you think about it. And like the grandeur of the set is beautiful. You can very clearly tell who is a good person in the series and who is a bad person in the series just from the set alone. Like the darkness, the opulence, even down to the jewelry that is used is like darker, is like more is darker shades of crystals and emeralds and all of that. Emeralds are green. That's not the point. The point is that you can tell the sets are so detailed. But yeah, I saw a video of him walking around his sets and saying that like he is involved in quite literally every aspect of the show, but for obvious reasons. And that's why like you respect him so much for what he does, is because he pours his heart and soul into everything he does. And like he is known, yes, for his stories, but for the lavishness of his sets. I describe this to my friends as like, again, show's only been out for 24 hours. So all of this has happened in the middle of today and yesterday. When I was describing this to my friends, I said the sets are like Bajirao Mastani on crack. If you thought Diwani Mastani set was beautiful, you haven't seen anything yet. It is everything down like to the library was beautiful. The library all the way up to the Shahi Mahal. It's like grand in a way that grand is grand. Like this picture of the archways and Sanjay Leela Bhansali standing over there, like, you know, resting his hand on his architecture is like very slay of him. But like, it's so pretty and like beautiful. Like there's no other like Mohe Rang Dolal on crack. Like, you know how the ceiling was the sky? The ceiling in this one is like diamonds. To obviously Heeramandi and whatever. But like, wow. Speaking of Shahi Mahal, it reminds me of Sonakshi's dialogue where she's like, "Ye Shahi Mahal hai, aur yahan ke khuda hum hai." Insane. Sonakshi Sinha, I could be clapping for the next like hour. She did. I shouldn't be clapping. Also, it's like it's 1:20 in the morning. She did so incredibly well. I'm gonna save that for character summary. This is a series I might end up watching a couple times because I feel like I was telling one of my friends this. The first time I watched it, it was very much for the story. My mom and I were watching it, and like she made fun of me so much for like not getting the characters' names. We were, I think, 2 episodes in or 2 or 3 episodes in, and she was like, how do you not know the people's names by now? We're not calling them Sonakshi Sinha. We're not calling them Manisha. We're not calling them London Boy. We're calling them by their names. Call them Taj. Call them Alam. That could be wrong. Call them Malika Jan. Call them Farida. So it's like, you know, catch on is what she was saying. And like, if you know this about me, you know this about me. I think I said this in a couple podcasts before. It takes me a second to understand what's going on. That's why I watched Jawan twice before I understood it. Because I didn't get it in the beginning, and I was like, oh, cool. So the first time I watched it for like cinematography, second time I watched it to understand the story. Kind of the opposite this way. Understood the story, understood the characters, understood the plot line, saw how beautiful it was. I think I might end up watching it a couple times more just to like be able to like talk about it like scene by scene. It's like, it's so, even the simple shots of like, there's one shot of Sonakshi and I call him newspaper guy talking, and like her shades are on and she's just smoking a cigarette, but the shot is so pretty even though the shot is so minimal. And Bhansali has this gift of like, people teach you about like, you know, the rule of thirds or like contrasting colors or like keep them in the center or keep them along like the grid lines, keep the subject along the grid lines to like increase focus. The man is beyond technique. The man is his own technique when it comes to cinematography, when it comes to direction. He has a vision and it's executed to the highest degree of like perfection. But yeah, it's just, even if you haven't seen the show, just search up like Heeramandi sets. Throughout this podcast, I've also kind of been placing pictures here and there. But like, wow. Wow is like, whatever. I'm gonna end it here. Because like, if I'm being completely honest, how have I rambled for half an hour and I could not tell you a single thing that I said? I know I talked about what Heeramandi was, the setting of the show, the actresses, and the set design. That's quite literally all I talked about for half an hour, which is wild because I think I repeated myself 30,000 times. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Please, like, you know, stay tuned for the next 2 parts, and I will be a lot more consistent with these episodes every week. And yeah, there's gonna be 2 more, like I said, 2 more parts for Heeramandi, and then I have like Teri Baaton Mein Aisa Uljha Jiya, of course, the Ambani wedding, the wedding of the year, the wedding that didn't even happen, the pre-wedding bash I would love to talk about that. I need to talk about that because I have so much to say. And I wanted to, there's a lot of movies that are completing their like 10-year anniversaries or like 5-year anniversaries. I know, was it Ram Leela that just completed 8 years or something like that? I want to talk about those milestones and what those movies have done for the greater landscape of Indian cinema. It's just like, and I just want to rant and like get into things. Cause like what's recently happened, Kapil Sharma started his Netflix show. Like Heeramandi came out. We have a fighter came out too. Bade Miyan Chote Miyan, Yodha. There's a lot of good story-based movies. I think Article 370 was it. Maidan. I want to watch. My mom and I and my brother were talking about the Diljit Dosanjh and Pariniti Chopra movie. Chamkila. We want to watch that one as well. So there's a lot of content coming up in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm going to close it off here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you for waiting. My apologies for making you wait so long. It won't happen again. But thank you so much for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked it, I don't know how you rate things on Spotify. Give my podcast a rating. Give this episode a rating if you can. I don't know how you do that. Give me some feedback. What did you like? What did you not like? Why am I rambling? If you can give me a cure, if you're a therapist, please do, because I would love to find a cure for why I ramble so much. I think it's about things I'm passionate about. Whatever. Give me some feedback. Follow me on my socials. My TikTok is at Parwaiz Dhanani. My Instagram is at Parwaiz Dhanani. I have a Redbubble shop where I post, where I sell like stickers, like those aesthetic movie stickers. I'm going to put a couple here. Those aesthetic movie stickers, from a couple movies. I'm going to increase movies as we go. I want to do a Heeramandi like collection. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, I will catch you in the next one. God damn, what did I ramble about for like 40 minutes?
में